Hello, I'm waiting for an audience to build up, and I'm also waiting for my guest speaker to come on. This was kind of like last minute. Let me see if I can find him. Hello, Fabio. I am new to this, so bear with me. Bear with me. There you are. I was looking for you. Didn't know if we were showing our faces or not. So I'm waiting for you to come on with me. So I just accepted your request.
Oh, it's not. Hold up.
Okay.
Hold up. Hey, cool.
All right. Okay, well, if you're gonna show your face, I might as well show my face too. You're more tame than me.
Oh,
This
your face was just showing just now. I was about to say.
it was, but I mean, I got hair sticking out of my scarf and everything. This is the end of a work day for me, but yeah. So let's do it. Let's talk about boundaries. Okay. You
All
want?
right. Well.
I'm gonna use your behind as an example. It's a good example though. Okay. First and foremost, I think that as empaths, as light workers, that is the number one thing that a lot of us have to work on is setting
Mhm.
boundaries. The first thing you said
Mhm.
to me was no reservations. Is this
Mhm.
now I haven't spoken to you on the phone. It's been months.
Right. All right. First of all, I like how we're just getting right into this, right?
Yeah, why waste
All
time? Why waste
right.
time? Um, it's been months and I believe that you were in meditation, you told me some deep
Mhm.
meditation. You know,
Mhm.
could have not answered, but
Mhm.
you did.
Go ahead.
And where I'm going
Mhm.
with this is you were still, even though you were considerate of me, you still was considerate of yourself as well. And a lot of times we lose
Mhm.
ourselves when we're trying to help others. But you was like, look, Chica, I might have answered your phone call, but you better come with some good, because, that's the state of mind I'm in. I'm in my zone. So I think a lot of us have a hard time conveying
Right.
that
Mhm.
and articulating that in word and thought. Hey, look, I hope this is good news. I was in my zone. You took me out of my zone. So make this conversation worthwhile. Of course, with me being who I am, I'm always going to call you with something that's worthwhile.
Mhm.
We don't just sit on the phone
Mhm.
with conversations. So,
Mhm.
what would you like to talk about?
All right. So. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for respecting my boundary. All right, so shout out. All right, so thank you very much. Thank
You're
you. Well,
welcome.
thank you for respecting my boundary on that, right? So I
Yeah,
appreciate
sure.
that, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so it's been months
I want
that
you to answer the phone again. So, I'm gonna make sure.
yo, no, I'm not gonna lie. That's funny the way you and I like how how you word it too, right?
Yeah.
So, because no, I ain't gonna lie, right? Because like I was saying, I was in deep thought when you called me, right?
Yeah.
And there was a part of me that's like, oh, don't even answer. Yeah, I wasn't because people were messaging me too, right?
Right.
So shout out to Grace. Grace is messaging me. Yo, that's what I'm saying. I was in the deep thought. I'm like, yo, because I was kind of like, I'm like, yo, I, just to word it easy. I'm like, fuck everybody. I was in my fuck everybody mode, basically. I wasn't going to respond to anybody at the moment, at that time, right?
Right.
So then when you called, I'm like, okay.
So Professor walks in the crossfire. Like, damn it, what does Dr. Cheyenne want?
I was like, all right, I'll call it back. I was like, all right, let me call it back. But then I was like, that's why I answered the call. I'm like, please let it be some good news, Tyan, please. But because I did got sense like, okay, there's a reason too. Like, okay, all right. So what's up? What's good? What's going on, yo? So guys, what I want to talk about is boundaries, right? Boundaries. This is why we're going to talk about boundaries, is because, well, first thing is it combines with boundaries is self-love. Gotta love yourself first, right? If you don't love yourself first, then there's no boundaries to be set up, right? So I believe you need to love yourself first before you set up boundaries. So make sure you love yourself and respect yourself first. Like all that energy that you've been putting towards others, you've been loving others, you've been respecting others, flip that into yourself and start building your boundaries. Respect yourself, build your boundaries from there, you guys. So, for example, like when Tyan hit me up earlier, you know, I was in like, I was like, I was into myself, I was like, to be real, because I was like, people need to respect me, dog. People need to respect me. Like, I need to earn people's respect, like a lot, like compared to how I've been for everyone else.
Yeah,
I deserve a lot more respect from other people, yo.
that's true.
So I was putting time for myself. So that's the example of self-love right there. Like, like let me, because I always answer for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I would answer easy. But for
Especially
now, let me put the
especially for
energy.
me.
Yo, so I'm like, all right, so let me put that on the pause for a second. Let me give myself some time, and respect myself some time,
Yeah.
and then go from there. So guys, it's very important because that's the best way to avoid BS in your life, to cut out the BS. Because if it wasn't Tyann, because the thing is, I have respect for you too. So if you was to someone else that I don't have that much respect for, if we're just a stranger or someone that that I feel that don't deserve any of my respect or my time, I would not answer at all. You know what I'm saying? I would have been on my meditation mode, like focusing, working on myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If it was someone that always get me in trouble, that's always negative, always with some bad news, with some drama, I would not answer the call. That's not worth my energy and time. I'd rather put my energy into someone that's positive, to like you, and look where we're at right now. We're on a live, speaking some facts right here. Speaking
For
some
real.
God truth.
I know, right? This wasn't even planned. This was so impromptu. And it kind of almost shocked me because I'm like, why did he say that? Like, it kind of caught me off guard. And then I'm like, you know what? I have to bring this up on the live because even though you said that, it didn't make me feel hurt or anything. It just kind of shocked me. It kind of shocked me because I'm like,
But not to cut you off,
no,
but
go ahead.
to some people who are sensitive, that would trigger them the wrong way.
It
You know
would.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's people that expect you to answer the phone when I call you, no matter what. I
Yeah.
don't care what I did to you. Answer my phone call. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I witness and I know some people who's being treated disrespectfully like that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, like I have a homegirl that's always have that. I have a homegirl that has friends that hear her up, be like, yo, let's go out. Let's go out and hang out. To do what? Oh, just to smoke, just to chill and smoke. They're not doing anything productive, just to be at the house smoking. Okay, no one's working on their business. No one's doing anything productive to work on themselves. Anything that's more worth the energy other than just being lazy and being whack and being lame, just wasting time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then that person could have just said no. But the reason why they didn't say no at the beginning when when the friend asked them out to go smoke, they don't want to hurt their feelings or they feel this type of way. Then they get into an argument. to get into a fight, yo. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Yep. You know, it goes back to those boundaries again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no one should call me at a moment's notice and expect me to do anything. One, like I said, they should be honored that you even answered the phone, especially if you were meditating, you were doing something that was important for you. Self-care, self-love is all under the same umbrella. I shouldn't constitute it an emergency on my behalf to entertain you with something that you can do at home without me. And I'm pretty sure you probably was doing that at home without me, right? I'm not a smoker.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that some people do smoke at home by themselves without even having a friend there. So,
Mm-hmm.
again, time is valuable, and time is an exchange of energy. It's currency. And
Dog, people don't understand the energy, like,
mhm,
yo, especially when you get older, yo, the energy, yo, you start getting hurt, and yo, you start getting you become more sensitive, yo.
you do.
You starting to appreciate your energy a lot more when you were younger, you
That is
know?
so much true. You know what my daughter told me when she seen everything that I went through with my divorce, being at the courts all day, practically I was there the Friday before last, just to make sure that it went through. I had to file three additional forms, and we were there for 3 hours. She was like, "Mommy, I think I changed my mind about being an adult because I see what you have to go through, and no, thank you." She was
Mm-hmm.
like, "No, I don't want to go through that." So you're right when you said, as a child, we really, really value time because it just seemed like time didn't exist. To me as a child,
Mm-hmm.
I never knew what time it was. I never knew what day of the week it was until I started going to school, obviously. And even when I was
Mm-hmm.
in school, it didn't faze me because it was not like I had anywhere to be besides at school. And then after that,
Mm-hmm.
home, what was I going to do after that? Go outside and play and then come home and do it all over again, you see?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
speaking about time, I want to shift this conversation a little bit,
All right, do your thing. Mm-hmm.
right? What do you think about a conscious woman and how she may have advantages or disadvantages now in 2022? Or a man, it could be from either side.
Mm-hmm. What about it? Like, if you can, like, like, what do you mean?
Like,
Like, how,
like
like,
elaborate.
disadvantages and,
Yeah, what are the
mm-hmm.
advantages now? What do you think are some of the advantages and some of the disadvantages right now?
For a conscious woman or man at this time
Hmm.
in the year
Hmm.
20 oh, well, I'll say, all right, first of all, they gotta be truly conscious, because everyone's just
Hmm.
throwing that word conscious like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
woke. It doesn't mean nothing.
Nope.
No, you still dumb, you still ignorant. Okay. All
Yep.
right, so by the
Most
way,
part.
let me just say, all right, so let me say this too, a quick disclaimer, right? Because
Okay.
I respect your followers and your audience, Diane.
Right.
So
Right.
please don't mind how I speak. This is how I speak. That's just me. So
Hmm.
shout out to my followers. You know, they know how I talk. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
So back to what I was saying. So everyone claims that they're woke or they're conscious. There's real conscious and there's fake
Fake
conscious,
consciousness. Yep.
right? So those who's like fake conscious, the disadvantages at if 2020 basically is like it's a waste of time even talking about that. But for real conscious, like truly conscious, like I consider us being extremely conscious,
Of course.
right? The benefits for us, I don't think there's any disadvantages.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. Nope. Nah.
Okay.
Nope. Everything is advantage. We have the advantage. Basically, we have the advantage. Straight up.
I
Why? Why? Well, I'm just curious. Now I'm curious why you even asked that question.
I'm
Like, I mean, if
in agreement with you. Well, I would say that
I
um,
say we're learning more, if anything, we're just expanding our knowledge, if anything. If that's the only disadvantage, you know?
the disadvantage for me, I feel, is, you know, I like to teach. I love to teach people, even my partner, and I like to learn from my partner. What I feel like is a disadvantage is that people are valuing more things than they are human connections.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Right?
the
Mhm.
latest and the greatest iPhone, the latest and the greatest
Mhm.
whip, what trips they're going to, what they're doing.
Mhm.
It's things. It's we are honestly losing our humanness.
Mhm.
What it really means to just stop and have like, I've dated people abroad and I've dated long distance, so it's not new for me. But
Mhm.
I've dated here too, locally in the US, and it's like even people that's only a state over, or maybe people that if I jumped on a plane, it would only take me 8 hours to get there or less, or maybe even two, don't want to do long distance connections or things of that nature because they're so used to just having it thrown on them
Mhm.
face
Mhm.
locally. So it's like, why should I date you? And it's a disadvantage for me because soul to me doesn't know anything about distance. The soul doesn't know anything about location. And I don't want to date no one here. This is my hometown. I was born and raised here. Pretty much everything that I see, I mean, no one can show me anything different. Okay.
Mhm.
Which is part of the reasons why I need to move because I don't think my soulmate is here. Matter of fact, I know my soulmate is not here. That's another reason why I want to move. And then I feel disadvantaged to the fact that I've been born and raised here and I feel like there's no growth for me.
Mhm.
And you know,
Mhm.
I'm all about growth. I hate
Mhm.
stagnation, not to the point where I don't learn in the season of wait, because I feel like it serves its purpose. When we have to wait for things, we heal. There's so much that is more than what meets the eye when we're in our waiting period. But from my personal observation, I just think that being awakened, well, now that I'm awakened, I definitely don't want to go back to sleep. But sometimes I still
Mhm.
feel like I was, in a sense, because now I know when someone's lying to me in 5.2 seconds. Like it's not even a 5 minute mark anymore. Like
Mhm.
the moment that a person opens up their mouth, I know when they're lying to me. I know when they're gassing me up. I know when they're making excuses. So it makes it really hard for me to date somebody because when I married 11 years,
That's good. That's practice though. I like that shit, yo. I'm sorry, yo.
you do? Elaborate.
Yo, go ahead and test my wisdom. Lie to me, see if I don't catch it, and then see
Exactly.
what I do after that. You
Exactly.
know.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that I want to, have the
But
veil
I
over
feel
my
what you're
eyes
saying. I'm just
again.
saying. Mhm.
It just
Mhm.
makes it kind of hard to find someone that is just as awakened as you are because like you
As you
said,
are, right?
there are so many people that are fake conscious and you're like after you talk to them, you're like I mean not that you think more of yourself than what you ought to. I'm not saying that, but it's like, oh my God.
It's annoying. It's kind of like, yo, I'm not feeling. I feel like I'm a like.
It's like a Twilight Zone. It's like being in a fucking Twilight Zone. It's like people, it just shows you how micromanaged and how conditioned people really are. It's like everybody is really thinking the same thing. Everybody is saying,
Everybody's ignorant.
yeah,
Ignorant, yo.
yeah,
It's a serious thing. For
it
real, for real.
is. And it's like, is anybody thinking out of the box? Is anybody thinking something different than, the normal social constructs and what you should look like, what you should be? Okay, case in point. Um, as you know, I've always been sensual.
Hmm.
So I have awakened. I believe, honestly, you followed me since I opened up my channel, right? Since the very beginning.
Hmm.
That's what I thought.
I say when you were like when you had like 500 followers about.
Yes.
Because
And
I was
now
like, yo, I need to holler at Tiny before she gets to 1,000.
you was like, I need to holler at you before you get YouTube famous. And it probably happened around the time that my YouTube took off. That you and
Hmm.
I, started collaborating and ascending together, and you joined the school and all of that, the School of Metaphysics and um, the School of the Gifted. So I'm just like, I have evolved a lot because when I first awakened, I was scared of my sensuality as a divine feminine. I would not express it. I suppressed it. And I didn't realize that I started having like physical symptoms. You know, a lot of times when people think that they're having ascension symptoms, it's not really ascension symptoms that they're experiencing. It's because they're suppressing their ascension.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of suppression symptoms, right? Because symptoms is only our body's way of letting us know and communicating that something's wrong.
Block. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. And that there's some type of block that needs to be cleared. So when I
Mm-hmm.
started to like, twerk and wear waist beads and do whining and a lot of things that helps a woman for her sacred womb, and I started doing womb healing, all those ascension symptoms that I thought that were ascension symptoms went away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really
Mm-hmm.
important for you as an individual to know thyself. Don't give a damn about what other people think, how they view you. If they see you all the time dancing, that's because your soul is a playful soul. That's the way your soul wants to express itself. As long as you're not raunchy and you're keeping it classy, I say go ahead. Go ahead, do your thing, sister. I knew you would agree with that. So it's like I was a Jehovah's Witness for
Mm-hmm.
26 years of my life, and I was told about so many things being taboo. Oh, tarot cards, that's taboo, that's from the devil. Oh my God, you're dancing sexually. That's from the devil. You want to make sure that you have a chaste dance and you want to make sure you dress a certain way. Well, that is
Mm-hmm.
to conform to someone else's standards. That's not me
Right.
respecting me. That's not me showing up and being who I need to be. And accidentally pressed.
Maybe.
So that's not me being who I need to be. So I'm conforming to someone else's standards. I'm not at that point. I I I believe, and this is my own observation. I'm not judging anyone that is still a part of religion. Hey, if that works for you, that works for you. Everybody didn't come to the earth to ascend. And I respect that. And as I awaken, I learned to appreciate that. Because
Mm-hmm.
those people that are not ascended are the ones that are testing us and helping us to gain our,
More. Mm-hmm.
in our training. If
Mm-hmm.
he was ascended, it would be love and light, namaste. Oh, God bless you. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. And that is just not a realistic world. And how can we grow from that? So we need the good, the bad, the right, the wrong, the indifferent, the ugly, and we also need the beautiful sunshine, okay, the rainbows, Skittles,
Mm-hmm.
the roses. We need all of this because
Mm-hmm.
we all signed up for this earth experience. And so, what am I saying? When I first got into religion, I was not sensual, obviously, and
Mm-hmm.
I had miscarriages, a lot of miscarriages. And I realized it was because I was not doing a sacred honoring for myself as a woman, as divine feminine. So there's a lot of things that go on, that we don't know about in the spiritual realm and metaphysically that really correlates with our behaviors and our belief systems and what we believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our
Mm-hmm.
beliefs can
Mm-hmm.
suppress us from our blessings, or and the world would say block you from your blessings.
Yeah, that's why I just mentioned this not too long ago, talking about like people need to start dancing more.
Yeah,
People need to start moving around more.
I agree.
Everyone been stuck in the home. Everyone been stuck in the house.
Hmm.
Just need to move more, yo. You
For
know.
real. And it's more to life, after death even. And I never understood that saying until I awakened. If you are not living, what are you doing? You're
Dying.
you're dying. And whether you still see yourself when you wake up in the mirror and you still are a visible person, it doesn't mean that you are living. And there are many of us that are now living that are not truly living at all because they're not
Mhm.
taking out the time to say, hey, why is this happening? Why is what is going on in the world? Why is that happening worldwide? why is it affecting everybody? It's like um it's like one of those things where everyone is afraid to talk about the green monster in the closet, but everybody know there's a damn green monster in the fucking closet. But no one's
Mhm.
saying anything. And so as we as we rise in our autonomy, we overcome fear because we know it's false evidence appearing real. It's not real. I know
Mhm.
I told you earlier today, it was fear that was keeping me in my hometown. It was nothing but fear. I never have
Mhm.
been out of, my hometown besides when I went to Ghana and I lived in Ghana and I lived in Nigeria. And it was so exciting. It was so fun for me. And matter of fact, I think at those times, that's when I made the most money, is when I
Mhm.
was away from home. So I'm starting to think there's a heavy correlation of why I haven't reached my income bracket that's on my goal. And I'm hitting and smashing my goals this year, by the way. I already got one out the way, which was my divorce. That was a long time
Mhm.
coming. I waited for 5 years to be able to be liberated and freed so I can grow as an individual. And
Mhm.
it was amazing. It really was. Like when I look back, I thought that I would look back on it and I would have hard feelings or I would feel like a certain type of way. I don't. I really
Mhm.
taught me a lot. He really did. And you know what? I never once had to question if he loved me, if that's the reason it didn't work out. No. I mean, to this day, he would do anything for me. But again, it goes to those boundaries.
Mhm.
He served his purpose. He's no longer needed. And now I'm venturing off in my own world, doing my own thing. Even with my first husband, I remember he asked me because I was a homemaker. I hadn't worked, it was over 10 years. And he had asked me, he was like, who's going to take care of you? You don't even have a job and you're divorcing me. Like, how are you going to pay? I had
Mhm.
an apartment and everything in my name, no job, but I paid the rent. The rent got paid every month. Every single month. All the bills got paid. God provided, the universe provided because we oftentimes worry about the how instead of focusing on the why.
Mhm.
I was focused on the why. I couldn't learn anything from him anymore in that relationship dynamic. I had 7 children by him. So we
Mhm.
exhausted that. I damn sure wasn't going to have any more kids, not by him at least. And it was just time for me to move forward. It really
Mhm.
so. But the dating scene right now for me, and like I said again, this is just because you always end up getting swooped up, grabbed up. You don't stay single as long as I do. But with that being said, with that
Mhm.
being said, I believe a lot of my, um, I don't even want to say hangups. I would say my areas of opportunity is what happens is when I finally do make that connection with someone, it's hard for me to kind of let go because it takes
Mhm.
me a long time in the first place to even get a connection. Like me and Tolu, we've been talking on and off for was 4 years before we even met each other in person,
Mhm.
before I even went to go
Mhm.
visit him. And I'm kind of a snail when it comes to love. So let me ask you a question. You're like, okay.
What's up?
You know it's gonna be juicy, right?
Uh, uh,
You
Go,
know
go
me
ahead.
by
Go ahead.
now. You know me by now. Um, so let's say if you and a girl was talking for like, I don't know, 7, 8 months, and you
Okay.
knew that you had feelings for the girl, and you knew that the girl had feelings for you. At that point,
Mhm.
when would you say to that girl that you loved her? Would you wait?
All right. So, all right. So let's rewind a little bit. All right. So, because what I wanted to mention was like, okay. especially a big thing for women is you put in time. You invested time and energy into the relationship. So that's the main thing for women.
Mhm.
Oh shit, here we go.
Come on
All right,
now. Don't play the
all
safe.
right, so listen, right? All right,
Yeah.
because here's the thing, right?
Okay.
Because that's why you stuck through the bullshit in the relationship because you invested so much time and energy into the relationship in the beginning, you know,
Mhm.
and it's so important to women. It's to the point where let's say for example, you like all right. So to your question, if I've been talking to this girl for 7 to 8 months, 8 months, so that's a lot of time invested that she put into the relationship so far, right? And
Mhm.
she really likes me, right?
Mhm.
So this is how important it is for women, is that if she end up talking to another dude who's, let's say, looks a lot more attractive than I am,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? To her, has more money, does more successful, any way, shape, or form,
Mhm.
she gonna reject that dude and come back to me because the time that she invested into me, into the relationship. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. For
So
sure.
the reason why I brought that up is because um just be aware of like how you invest your time with the certain with that's why it's very important to like to take your time to know the person, to know what you're getting yourself into. Is this person worth investing the energy? You know,
Mhm.
you gotta look out for for signs and everything like that, right?
Yep.
So to answer your question, um, okay, me and this girl have been talking for 8 months, and basically we like each other. And when will I tell her that I love her?
Mhm.
Dog. All right. So yeah, I'll tell her. I'll be like, I love you, babe. I
Good.
mean, I'll tell her. All right. So here's the reason why, it took me, it took me a while to answer like that, right? Because
Right.
what's being promoted to guys is like, yo, if you tell a woman that you love her, like you're a simp, you're weak. Don't tell her, don't give her that validation that you like her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just for the women to chase the guy.
It's a bro
Don't give her that
code.
validation. You get
Yes.
mhm.
Yes. I get
But
it.
but I'm just speaking for myself though. Not every guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No one got the juice like I do. All right. So if it was me and the girl we've been dating for 8 months and everything, we definitely feel each other. Yeah, I tell her I love her. At least one time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, listen, at least straight up that yeah,
Yeah.
I do love you.
Yeah.
You better love me too, bitch. The fuck? Sorry, but
Right.
I'm just saying
Right.
if she doesn't love me though, let's just say
Yeah.
she doesn't love me though. I would.
Mhm.
All right. Now here's the thing too. All right. So now the question is, so will I be the first person to say I love you,
Yes.
or hmm, like man, I really want to make sure that she loves me though. I gotta make sure that she loves me though. Like I don't know. I want to
Mhm.
make sure she loves me first though. Cause I've been through experience where I love first and then shit don't work out like that, So I want to make
Yeah.
sure that okay, this woman love me for real, for real, for real. And once I know for sure she loves me, all right, I love you too, babe. I love you too. Straight
Right.
up, I love you. No problem, no issue. But I
That's
want to make
true.
sure my thing too. But I think that's the thing. People want to make sure like this person before I let this person know, does this person feel the same for me?
Got
You know.
you. Got you. Oh yeah. Okay, Chef Lucy Lou said it's difficult being a social person and look around, there's no one there. So now you have to build a relationship with better people.
Hmm.
That is so true. You know, my worst mistake is including my partner in
Hmm.
my business. I mean, Okay, let me say this because hell yeah, I'm gonna have a life partner, and yes, we're gonna do business together. I'm just gonna pick a more conscious person, but
Right.
I should have tested him out consciously. Like I should have, what I mean by that energetically. I should have tested him
Mhm.
a lot more because I seen red flags at the very beginning, but I thought that if I included him, that he would just rise with me and things of that nature. And we both agreed, even he said this, that he would never do that again. And it wasn't because of me, it was because of another situation he shared with me, which I won't go into because that's his business. But my point is, I will be more apt to speak about my relationship, being the fact that I'm a public figure to people until I know that I got it in the bag. Like that is
Mhm.
my area of opportunity that I've learned from. Is that
Mhm.
one moment, if it don't go bad, I mean if it don't go right and it goes bad and everybody's asking where so and so is now. And you're like, oh
Right.
shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, who wants to live with that? Not me. It was very, that was more hurtful to me than a breakup.
Mhm.
Is having to break up, everybody else had to break up with him too. And it's like,
Right. You have you set up a reputation now. It's a new reputation that with your business now.
exactly, exactly. And
Mhm.
it shifts the energy. And so I told myself, I wouldn't even do it until I was really married. And I know that, that person and I were 100% committed to each other and that we really, truly were on the up and up
Mhm.
with everything. You like even having passcodes to each other's phone, like seriously. Um,
Mhm.
I have to trust you with every inch of my life before I
Mhm.
do something like that again. Because once the relationship is gone, what about the people that followed you just because of that relationship?
Mhm.
You know? What are they going to do now? Like they looked up to you as being, the example of how a relationship should go.
The relationship goal. Mhm.
A relationship goes, and not that people should look up to other people. I mean, especially not me. I'm far from perfect, but I try my best to be the best partner. And you've known me personally enough to know what I do for my partners and how um, they got me taken advantage of because of my
Mhm.
part, because of me being conscious, because of me being the healer that I am. One thing that I feel like is a disadvantage for a lot of women, and you can just tell me how you feel as being a man and a healer, because you're a healer yourself, is that it gets a lot of women taken advantage of because they play on that. A lot of men play on that as a weakness. Well, I already told
Mhm.
you, I have abandonment issues. I already told you, I got molested as a young boy, and so I'm self-conscious about this and that. I got trust issues because my girl cheated on me. And we, as healers, we overlook some of bad behavior and red flags because of that. Oh,
Mhm.
this happened to him, so I'm just gonna go ahead and overlook that.
Mhm.
How do you feel about it as being, a healer yourself and having women that know some of the things that you've probably been through in your past? You've opened up and shared with them, and them kind of use it against you.
Um. mm,
I'm seeing that Gemini mind, like, first of all, that bitch ain't gonna use me. Now I'm just playing.
Right. That's what.
Man.
No, real talk. Like,
I'm
because I was
seeing a
gonna say.
Gemini in you come out. Like, oh,
Like, first of all, like certain things, I'll say like certain things to certain people, like to it depends. Like I won't like my past experiences, whatever. Like okay, let's just say for example, girl I'm talking to. Okay, let's just say for example, the girl I'm talking to like asking me like, oh, like okay, my fault, but I'm just trying to find the best way to word everything, right?
that's fine. Take your
So
time.
one of my thing is trust issues, right? I have trust issues, right?
Most
So because
people,
I feel like I tried my best to make the person happy, to make the girl happy,
yeah.
and still I don't know, something good doesn't happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a girl will say or promise me something, and they swear up and down by it, like, like, oh, it's to the point that if a woman says that they said that they love me, I don't believe them, because I experienced someone that said, like, they truly love me, they say they love me, but their actions is totally different.
Wow.
It shows otherwise.
I
So when
got
someone
you.
says, like, oh, hey, I love you, I'd be like, what do you mean by that? You love me as what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, you don't. Bitch, you
Mm-hmm.
know you don't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
love me as what? As a friend, or as a, like, what do you even know what love is? Like, what do you mean you love me?
Most people don't.
People throw that love word around, like, it's
Loosely.
like, oh, I love you, like I like you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you like, if anything, I respect you more to say you like me
Mm-hmm.
instead of you love me. You don't love me, you like me.
I
Because
agree.
real talk, love is is a different level of like.
It
You know what I'm saying?
is. It's
Mm-hmm.
to me. Ooh, boy. Ooh. I was gonna say this for another broadcast, but since you opened up those can of worms, most people
Mm-hmm.
use love as a means to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
The words
Yep.
"I love you," those three-letter words, and I have had that happen to me in my own personal experience, where um they overloved me and they overused that word so they can kind of,
Manipulate you.
yep, fat me up for the kill, yeah, to get
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I'm so in love that now
Mm-hmm.
I'm overlooking the shit that I need to pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even seeing the
Mm-hmm.
red flags no more. I'm seeing green light, go, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that that was one of my learning lessons because,
Mm-hmm.
leaderships, all of that, they come in so they can teach us what it is that we need to know. And one thing that I have learned is to have head over heart now. I would, in me being the cancer that I am, see, here's one thing that people don't know about cancers. First of all, it takes us a long time to fall in love. It really does. Like my first husband, it took me about a year until I
Mm-hmm.
finally said, I love you and meant it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the second husband, it was even longer than that. We didn't even start talking personally until 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I was even more cautious, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be sure
Right, right.
before I use those words.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean that can give people a license to kill your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously. And
Mm-hmm.
even still, even when I have very deep connections with the opposite sex, and they just tell me loosely, "I love you, Tyann," and I'm like, "Okay, okay." I do not
Mm-hmm.
say that back because I feel like there's a certain role, there's a certain.
That's why I was saying, yeah, and that's why I was saying earlier too, like, not to cut you off, but
No,
like
go
that's
ahead.
why communication is very important. You need
Yep.
to learn how to
One
communicate,
second.
because
I'm going off screen
here's
real
the
quick.
thing.
Go ahead though. Still talking.
All right, all right, cool. So, like, okay, so this this people need to learn on love languages, because people will say, people have a different meaning of love, right?
Yep.
So when they say they love you, it's not the same meaning of the love that you know what love is, what love means to you. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
So so the
Definitely
attention,
no.
so but the attention, like, okay, but I know we're talking about, like, we're talking about, like, those who's like negatively using love, like, for the wrong reasons, for bad intentions.
Yeah.
But there are those who's like with good intentions, who don't know what love really is like that, but they know what love means to them, like, from their point of view, if that makes sense,
Yeah,
because
makes
everyone's been
sense.
raised different. Like, not every parent love the same way as the next parent, if
That's
that makes
true.
sense.
Yeah.
Because you got people that have been raised by abusive parents, but those parents love them. That's their own way of
That's a way of
loving
showing
their
love.
kids. So to them, that's what love is. So when they like, yo, I love you, I love you,
Right. No, seriously.
you be like, yo, no, you don't. But then they get more mad, like, bitch, I just told you I fucking love you.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean,
I mean, that's extreme,
it
but I'm just
is.
saying, like, yo.
That's true. Everybody has a different definition of love. If you ask someone what love is, no one can really explain it. And you shouldn't be able to explain love because love is a spirit, first and foremost. It's energy. And it's what
And you got to
go ahead.
go ahead.
Say it's the highest vibration on the earth. It's the highest frequency
Hmm.
we'll ever experience. And so, who would want to purposely rob themselves from it? Who would want to purposely keep themselves away from love? Nobody. But the crazy thing is, Jules, when we are born, the natural state of being for us is love. We are born in the vibration of love. When we come out of the mother's womb, we are still in that
Hmm.
vibratory frequency. But what happens is that we get conditioned by our parents, by our family members,
Hmm.
by school teachers, by the principal, by the next door neighbor. And so they start to shape and form what love is, which is faulty.
Hmm.
It's not even what love is. It's what you said. It's what they have been taught that love.
Hmm. It's all messed up, and that's why everyone's all confused, and then throwing the word around like, "Oh, I love you," and then it's like, you know, and then
Mm. But
but that's why you gotta know the difference from those who's like manipulating you, like
yeah,
what we were saying earlier, like people just manipulating you just to say love, just so they can take advantage of you. But that's why
exactly.
on your end you got to know what does it really mean to him. Like you gotta, what does love really, even when they're manipulating you, using it as a tactic,
Yeah.
like really, like what does it really mean to you? Even like how you using that word,
Mm.
like you know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a word to be, taken for granted or to
Mhm.
use loosely because there's power in that word. The word itself is a spell. It really
Mhm.
is. And if you ever look at love backwards, it's evolve, which is part of evolve. Love is
Mhm.
supposed to help you to evolve because if it doesn't help you to evolve, then it becomes something that is evil.
Mhm. Mhm. Facts. Uh-huh.
Yes.
Sure.
So
Mhm. Mhm.
again, the power of love has the power to transform a situation into something that is beautiful. Just like with my divorce, I was gonna do a happy ending ritual just so everything can be peaceful and calming. And I still have everything that I brought to do this ritual just so I can send him on his journey. I can go on my journey. But with the full moon coming in, when I did the full moon ritual that I always do, and I released, I was like, you know what, Tanya, you really don't have to do that. Your
Mhm.
intentions alone is strong enough that you don't even have to perform that type of ritual. You can just have the intentions for him to have the best life, you to have the best life, and just move forward.
Mhm. Mhm.
Glad that I did. Are we almost at our time?
I can't even see the time.
Um,
I was trying to see. No, there was a notification that just showed up, but that wasn't the time.
yeah, and there are some comments in here, but for whatever reason on my phone, I can't see them. They're blurred out. Are they like that on your phone too?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I see. But I'm not even paying attention to the comments. I was just listening to you. I was just like, I mean, I see stuff popping up on the screen and everything, but I'm not even paying attention
I,
to all that.
I am
Like,
hypnotizing you. No, I'm just
no,
joking.
I mean, shoot, especially nah, but the topic is serious though. About
It is.
like I was more focused into all that because
Yeah.
real talk, guys. If whoever's listening, please listen to us, okay? Because the whole point is like people are ignorant still. That's why those who's conscious in the year 2022 having a hard time linking up with those who's just as conscious as or higher is
Hmm.
because of the ignorance of the world, yo.
I swear.
So self love, love yourself, set up boundaries, and respect yourself, and educate yourself, yo. Educate yourself, research, learn how to communicate, learn to love, like how to like that's the thing too. That's why love yourself is very important because people really don't love themselves like that.
They don't. They're
People
looking for love outside of themselves.
Mm-hmm. So they don't know what real love is until they truly love themselves first,
I
and then
swear.
from there they can respect themselves. Because after all of that, it's going to spread out outside of them. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
If more people love themselves more, respect themselves more, imagine how the world's going to be. You see a less disrespect. Like everyone would treat everyone a lot more better. You know what I'm
And
saying?
it'd be
The
less
communication would be
cheating.
more understandable.
It'd be less cheating and less sneaky links and side chicks, you know, because people will understand the value of love.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, people ask me, or they used to ask me a lot more when my children were younger than opposed to now, because all of my kids are grown, but too. But they used to ask me, how do you love all of your children and give them the proper love they need? Like, they were like, that's impossible. I said, no. I said, your thinking is misguided. I said, it's not impossible. If God gave it to me, if God gave me those seven children, He made it possible, she, he, whatever, um, to love them and to give them what they needed because we have soul contracts that I'm honoring. I am giving each child what we signed up for. And I
Mm-hmm.
honestly can tell you, out of having seven children, I don't have a favorite. I don't even know what it feels like. I don't even have one that I'm fond of because really God did a good job with giving me all the children that He gave me and their wonderful personalities. You were here with us. You was here for like what, a weekend? Did it look
Mm-hmm.
like I made any
Mm-hmm.
difference between my children?
Mm-mm.
No, I equally treat them the same. And so
Mm-hmm.
I even feel that way with our love that we have for ourselves. You're right. Self-love is the best love, and it's the only real love there is because I don't care how much someone outside loves you, nobody is going to love you and count your soul more dear to you than you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to even say God because you know my theory on that. Me and God are one, okay?
Right.
So,
But hold up. My fault, my fault, my fault. But all right, so shout out to Lucy real quick, cause
yeah,
what she wrote, right? She said, loving yourself is hard when you never experience love. So,
that's true.
that is true.
Find that. I need to find that because I was trying to look for her comment and pinned it. And then also we got Miss J, who has been giving some good comments too.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, on my
But
phone,
yeah,
it's hard for me to see.
yeah, but loving yourself is hard when you never experience love.
Yep.
That is true, right? So
Yeah.
what I would say about that is that's what I'm saying, like research though. That's what I'm saying, like okay, I'll say like regardless, you still know love. Like love means something to you. Like there's some kind of you
Mhm.
experience love. Like still love yourself the best way possible yourself. Like you're still loving yourself, even if
Mhm.
it's not like even if you never experienced love. What do you think what love is though? Like still love
Mhm.
yourself to the best you can. You know what I'm saying? Still, it's still something.
Yeah.
Even if you never experienced love from outside, of, like still, because the love that you've been given to everyone else, you need to put that to yourself. That's the whole point, regardless if you never experienced love or not. Because the love that you're giving out, put turn that to yourself, yo.
That's
Even if
right.
you never experienced love, because that energy, the love energy you've been giving out, that's still love, regardless.
Mhm.
You know, that's the whole
Mhm.
point, really.
And she said pretty much what you said. Love is felt differently for every individual. And it is supposed to. I don't want someone to love me the way that I love me because the way that I love me is unique to how I know love to be. I want them to love me in their own special way that's unique to
Hmm.
them and how their soul chooses to express the love that they have for me. Like to me, I feel like love cannot be contained. It's not self-contained. You can't keep it. When you love somebody, you love somebody. But again, I'm almost even afraid to use that word loosely and because of the responsibility that comes along with. There's a lot of responsibility that comes along with telling someone of the opposite sex or someone that you're interested in um, that you love them.
Love language. That's why love language. That's why it's
Hmm.
important to learn the different types of love languages.
Right.
You know.
Like my love language is I'm more of a visual person. I love audio too. I love to hear it. I do. But I like you to show it. as opposed to always telling me all the time. Like, you don't have to tell me 10 times a day that you love me, but you can
Mhm.
do 2 or 3 things throughout the day to show me that you still wake up,
Right.
still choose me.
Mhm. 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 I'm basically similar. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I rather see it through action than words.
Yeah, because
You
I
know.
hear it a lot from many people.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
but there's no
But
action. There's no action. It's just words. And it's just like, yeah, this is becoming a little bit like a rerun. I've just seen this
mhm.
before. Can you show me something,
But
you know?
I'm gonna just give like a few examples of like those who's not familiar what love languages is. Is like love languages is like you have one person um they receive love um like getting gifts, getting
Mhm.
material things. Like if you give them like a gift or a present, they take that as like, oh, that person loves me. Compared to another person, where even if you give that person a gift, give that person money, car, or a house or whatever,
Oh.
they won't take that as love. They'll prefer like words instead of material stuff. So
Mhm.
they'll rather you tell them like, I do love you.
Mhm.
Um, you write them make them a love letter to them, something that shows something that says that you
Physical
love
touch.
them.
Yes. You know what?
Hmm.
I'm glad you brought that up because I had a partner that every time I would ask him to show me that he loved me, he would always, demonstrate that through making love. And I'm like, I was expecting something a little
Hmm.
different, like, maybe going out.
And that's another thing too, right? And then that's
Hmm.
people get mixed up with sex with lust.
Yeah.
You know, sex is people take that as love. Like, oh, we had sex
Mhm.
together. Oh, this person loves me. Not all the time.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
No, because I mean, there are strangers that are hooking up and doing that. So that just goes to show you that, love is not always equated to that, but physical touch is an intimacy. Let's just go
Mm-hmm.
intimacy, being intimate without the sexual touch. But
Mm-hmm.
basically,
Mm-hmm.
rubbing someone's chin, kissing their forehead, or kissing their nose, or a man taking a woman's hands and, palming her hands and kissing her hand. God, I sound like
Mm-hmm.
a don't I? Sorry. But still,
No, you good. No, you good.
um, because I was in the zone right there. But anyway, um, love is expressed in many different facets and many different forms. And it can't, like I said again, it cannot be contained. You can't box love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just cannot. Again, I cannot read what she wrote. Having sex is the new
It's the new handshake.
these days. Damn, I gotta pin that. That is so. I swear you ain't never lied, chef. Mm. Hold on, I'm coming. Trying to figure this out.
Now do your thing, but in the meantime, guys, learn the different love language because you have people that says that they love you, and you might, you know, the way they're showing love is not the way you expect it or you like to receive. So
Hmm.
you looked at them like, oh, this person really never loved me, but they really actually do. It's just that that's how they just,
That's
and then
their way of loving.
I'm gonna jump everywhere too because people don't know how to communicate. All right,
Hmm.
there's people out there who genuinely loves the person, but they don't know how to love the person correctly, properly. They don't
Hmm.
know how to communicate with them to them properly or properly. What the heck? Like what I'm going through right now. I'm not doing this properly right now.
Shut up. Yes, you are. You just getting. I think that you just really felt a spot that really just touched you, honestly, because.
Dog, because listen, because my experiences, okay, my experiences. I have
Hmm.
someone that's you know telling me that they really love me, but I'm questioning like, okay, why did this happen? Why did that happen? Why did all these things happen if you love me? And the answer is I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to love you. I didn't know how to
Mhm.
respect you. You know, I was younger. I was immature. But that's why I'm talking to you, and I'm expressing this now because I'm learning. I'm learning, and I'm telling you this right now. You know, I didn't know how to. Straight up. I didn't know how to. I
A-
didn't know how to respect you.
And that's a good example. You know what? I want to say something because it's a lesson that I am learning. I know that most men are not used to women being effective communicators. If you communicate too much, they would take it as you being bossy or trying to control them. But it's like, how am I trying to control you when I'm expressing?
Oh, give example. Give example. Give
You
example.
really
Give
want me to
example.
go there? Okay. Let's say you have your account, your Instagram account, I,
Mhm.
my Instagram account, but
Mhm.
one day you decide to have one of your fans post something on your
Mhm.
account. So you uploaded it, you tagged them in it, but it was very highly sexual, and they were doing it towards you. Like,
Okay.
knowing that we're married or in a relationship, and I
Mhm.
come to you and I say, you know what, such and such, that video that is on your page
Mhm.
makes me uncomfortable.
Okay. First of all, we're not be married.
Shut up. We married. We role playing, Negro. We married right now.
we're not be
We are
married.
married right now. You gotta do this role play with me, or we're gonna lose it. We're gonna lose the energy, and I don't want to lose the energy. Okay. So you and your girl, you and your boo are married for the sake of this example, or just in a relationship, a committed relationship. Is that better?
All right.
You in a relationship,
Whatever.
y'all live
Go ahead.
together, y'all share the same bank account, y'all got vehicles
No, but
in your name,
you're
your
right. You're right
name.
though. You're right though. Mhm.
Okay. And and even DJ Khaled, one day a girl got on his live and she joined him and started twerking, and he was like, I got a wife, like I got a wife and children, like what are you doing? He had to kick her off of his life. And I'm like,
Right.
damn right. That's what
That's
the
what's
hell he
up.
was supposed
Mhm.
to do. And it's like,
Mhm.
when I came to this person and I explained it, and it's not just one person, it's like two people
Right.
that I,
Right.
was married to. And I'm just like, okay, you see this, right? What do you think
Mhm.
about this now that you know that it makes me feel uncomfortable? Well, first of all, Tanya, that's your own insecurities. Insecurities?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's a video.
Mhm.
Okay, this is not my feelings and my emotions just because I'm in my feels. This is something that the whole world can see, and they know that you're my husband. Do you think that's controlling? Because I'm telling you how
No, I
I feel
mean,
about it.
coming from no, it's not controlling.
It's
You're just
not.
basic. I mean, there's nothing wrong. Like you expressing like your side of like how you feel towards it. Like you have the right to express that. Like I don't
Exactly.
think that's being controlling. Like, I mean, that's kind of common sense. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
Let me have
Like,
a man with his shirt off and he's sitting up here pushing his nipples up
and then
on my page.
and then he'll say something. Right.
Yeah,
And I feel you.
it'd be a problem.
Well, you better take that shit down, Tyan.
Right. Oh,
I'm your man. You better take that shit down.
hold
Who's
on.
that guy?
So he asked me to remove a video. I mean, not a video. It was a video of my Ashton and a picture of my Ashton.
Oh yeah. No, I know.
No, no, sir.
You want
Can't
to talk
do
about
it.
that? You want to talk
Yes,
about that video?
yes.
Because when you first told me about that video, all
Mm-hmm.
right, this is what I didn't like about that situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you first told me about that situation, like, all right, oh, he's mad at me because I posted up a video of me dancing,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it was nothing. I was just dancing a little bit. It's how you perceived it, and how you were. It was like, oh, it was just a little dancing. It's nothing serious and nothing major. Like I don't know, you know. So when you were telling me about it, I was on your side about it. I was on your side the whole time, right?
What?
I was like, damn, why he's mad because of a video of you dancing? Like I don't know why he's jealous or why he's pissed off or nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw the video, when I saw the video, I was like, oh, they ain't no little dancing. There was a lot of things moving around, yo. There was a lot. There ain't no little dancing. There was no little dancing. I was like, Tyann, I see where he's coming from with it. Like, yeah, that was a lot.
Well,
That was a lot going on in that video, yo. You need to put that down, yo.
listen, in my defense, I'm a dancer and I'm a very good dancer. And I've
Mhm,
always have been, and I've always danced exotic, even when I was a kid. It's just in my nature. Okay.
mhm,
And when I went to Africa, that's why I want to just go back there. I could live there, honestly. I love Africa because their women, that's nothing. They do that every day. Hell, they do that on the streets. And it's not
mhm,
like when a man see their women dancing like that, that they're like, oh, you can't dance like that. It's part of the culture. And so I
mhm.
embrace that side. Yes, who is it? Oh my God. Yayla already grabbed one. Go talk to her. Yeah, okay, I'm on a live. Get out. Sorry. You sit up here having a whole conversation with me. Anyway, so I was talking about the dancing.
Mhm,
I feel like any woman that knows how to twerk, shake her ass, queen, do it. Do your
mhm,
thing of the thing, okay? Because let's get into the metaphysical part of that. You are releasing and you are moving energy around, which is needed.
mhm,
The reason why a lot of women have to get hysterectomies. This is the reason why a lot of women have fibroids on their uteruses and fibroids on their ovaries is because they're not doing what our ancient grandmothers and ancestors used to do. They used to shake their ass a lot.
mhm,
And
mhm.
I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna be 100 years old still shaking my ass. I'm sorry. So whoever I
Not
get
for you.
with, whoever I get with have to respect that it's art
Mhm.
and that no man is going to post me on their page doing it. Okay, it's on my
Mhm.
page. And there's
Right.
always a reason behind why I'm doing it. I'm not just doing it just to be like, hey, look at me. I can shake my ass. I got
But
an
that's what I was
ass.
going to say. That's what I was going to say. Like you gotta, but you have to understand from the guy's perspective of why, why he reacted the way he reacted when he saw the video.
Oh, he was
Well,
just
yo,
controlling.
because when you were describing the video, you were like, oh, just a little dancing. It's nothing
Shut
serious.
up, Joe.
I was like, so in my head, I'm like, okay, you're dancing like a white person. Sorry, no, no, you're dancing like a non-dancer, like a little dance, like a little
Mhm.
kitty dance. That's what I pictured in my head. But when I saw that video, I was like, oh. Oh my
What
God!
kind of visual are you giving me, Professor? What are you
I was
doing?
like, oh snap! This need to be on Pornhub.
Shut up. Shut up. Now you going too
Yo,
far.
it needs to be in a music video, yo. Let me see. All right. But no, but all right. So the reason why I'm extra is because to most guys, right?
Hmm.
You know, like for women, I like. First of all, what you're saying is like I get what you're saying. Like like it makes like I totally agree. Like of course, it's all natural. I'm all for that 150%.
Hmm.
On the other side of it, it's like it's how I believe it's how you go about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because you do have women who just basically twerking just for attention. They're not
exactly.
doing it out of. They're not doing it like
To
the
promote
natural like.
themselves, to brand themselves, to talk about a serious subject that most people don't want to talk about. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
So that's what's being promoted, what's being influenced. That's what we're more familiar with.
Okay.
So the first 5-10 seconds of seeing a woman twerk, we're not thinking about oh it's cute. We're thinking about damn that's the ass we like to fuck. That's an
Keeping
ass
it
we like to
real.
get in. It's
100%.
more sexualized than just thinking like oh it's a nice cute dance, unless it's fully clothed, everything's covered. Well, that's the thing about your video. You were fully covered.
I was. I really was. And that and look, at least in that one.
Even you were fully covered, it was still crazy.
I know. I know. Listen, while we're on this subject, because I had this conversation with someone just not too long ago, They were asking
Mhm.
why I was thirst trapping. Well, first of all,
Mhm.
no one wants to sit and listen to a doctor talk about all of the things that you need to fix in your life and how I can fix it for you. So I really
Mhm.
have to. No, it's not. Go put it up. Don't bother me no more. Lock my door and don't come back in. Um, okay, where was my chain of thought?
You were telling
You
someone
have to
about
you have to be different. You have to brand yourself in such a way to. Why is my door not being locked? Don't play with me, little boy. Oh, you
boundaries.
came in? Go out.
Boundaries.
Yes. Man, you wait until I get off this live. Mm-mm-mm. Okay, so anyway, um, so I have to be different. I have to do things different, and I love the dance. Dance is an art for me, and that's what I use. That's my means of doing it. You can't knock my hustle. That's how I get paid,
Mhm.
you know? And
Mhm.
so he was just like, "Well, that's thirst trapping. Well, you do it. You let's not even go there. Let's not even go there. I don't even want to talk about him because I don't even want to give that attention to him because then it'll be an inbox. So let's go. Let's switch the subject.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm not ready for that one.
But I'm just looking at the comments to see what everyone's saying
Okay.
because I was listening to you, but
Oh,
the point is, you guys.
what? Okay. And this has just been my experience. Ladies, have you experienced this as well? Hello, Divine Film. Why do men try to change you and control you after you give them some punani? In my
Cause that pussy's ours, yo. That's my pussy, yo.
God.
All right, your pussy belongs to me, yo. All right.
Is that what they think just because I gave it to them? That they own it? It's not.
My pussy,
It's
yo.
not just
My
his.
pussy,
It's
yo.
mine too. It's
It's my
ours.
pussy, yo.
Ours.
And it's mine. All right.
That's how
All
a
right.
man
I'm the
thinks.
one talking to it, yo.
Okay. But for
Shoot.
real, is that
Now
the reason
go
why?
go clean up the house, yo. Clean up the house and make me some and make some dinner. Mm-hmm. Shoot.
I don't have a
I'm just being
problem doing
extra,
that for
extra.
my man.
I'm not like that. But you do have guys. Well, it's kind of sad, but it's like because you have guys that believe like they're the head of everything. They're the head of the household. They're the head of the relationship. They're the head of everything.
They're the
You
head of
know.
your
So
they're the head of your thoughts. They even tell you what to think. Seriously. Um,
mhm.
it was then another reason why I asked you that question is because it kind of took me off guard. My daughter and I was just sitting here and she was like, "Mommy," I was like, "Yes, baby." She said, "Why are all your exes obsessed with you still? Why do they still want to be with you? Like, why don't they just oh I didn't know how to answer that question. I was like,
Mhm.
that's a very good question. I don't know.
Mhm.
I
Hmm.
don't know. I do know the answer, but
Right. Mhm. Not for you. Mhm.
you wouldn't even think that children would observe stuff like that, but they do. They are very observant. All right, so can you just give us one little thing and then we'll go ahead and we'll close out
Okay.
how,
One little thing
yeah, like how
like
people get in touch with you, what you do. Like, yeah, this is your outro. Because you was my guest, you are, not was, you are my guest speaker. And I,
mhm.
people that are following me, because I know you got some people from your team over here too, which
Mhm.
shout out to all of y'all. That is for Team Jules.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, guys. I didn't, I this was not, all this was not expected. I didn't expect
No.
to be on live and be chatting the way we're chatting now. So, but it was needed.
Yeah.
Um, so for those who's not familiar with me, all right, Lord Jules, all right, the pre the high priest, all right. If you're not familiar with me, get familiar with me. All right, I do tarot readings. Um, I do I do spell work. All right. Um, also, and I just give whatever like what advices. I don't know what to call it, but advices that you know that can help change your life. Benefit your life. Let me just say it like that. Um, so yeah, you can follow me. Um, at Lord Jules 8706. And you know, if you just got on the live too, the last thing what you should take out this video is make sure you love yourself, respect yourself, and set strong boundaries for yourself. And then the more people we have that does that, I feel that the outcome would be better. For
For
everybody, for the
real.
world in general.
Straight up.
Learn love languages, learn how to communicate better, educate yourself. Don't be just on the phone, TikToking and Instagramming on dumb stuff. For real, yo, level up, yo, evolve into your higher self, straight up. You know.
Good. Good. Exit message. I appreciate it. And I also want to say, for all that are on this live, thank you so much for joining us. This was not even planned. It was impromptu, like I said. It was last minute. I don't like to plan anything. I just like to go with the natural ebb and flow. And
Mhm.
I just think that it works out a lot better that way. When you try to plan things and, sometimes things don't always go the way that you plan. So it's always
Mhm.
spontaneous, topics of discussion like ourselves, what we've had tonight, that really can help change people's lives and touch people. I was very transparent about a lot of things that I normally am not transparent about, but I'm learning in my journey to be more open without telling so much. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Because I had a problem with that when I first started my journey. No one knew anything about me, nothing at all. And what really helped my YouTube channel, honestly, you guys, is when I started being transparent. And I was just keeping it 100% real. And I wasn't giving a damn what people thought about me, because at the end of the day, we all have a story. And I was going to tell mine. And through me telling my story, actually helped me to heal. So through my testimony, through my test, I it became my testimony, and I'm sharing it with all of you guys. I thought that, my original twin flame, that we were going to be together forever, and life got in the way, and I learned that it's okay to be by yourself. It's okay to love yourself, dote on yourself, and it's okay to not even be on the journey anymore. Okay? I'm not looking for
Mhm.
a twin, but if someone comes and matches that energy, I know that I'm in vibrational frequency for it, because I'm whole and complete within myself. And if anything
Mhm.
that man could have ever taught me was self-love, because I have had 5 years off and on sleeping by myself. And that's all I got to say. I'm done. Thank you,
All right,
Jules. Thank you for joining. Thank everyone for joining. Gonna go ahead and sign off from here. Namaste.
all right.
All right.
Namaste. Do some.